Hey YouTube, we have an event tomorrow, Monday, August 25th, and with it a new Pokemon. So it's the Sunkissed Shores, and we get a big uh, catfish in Dondozo. The big catfish Pokemon will make its debut. Event bonuses 2 times XP for winning raid battles. You know, right off the bat, if that is the event bonus, I'm not looking forward to it, but there are actually a bunch of wild encounters. Psyduck, Shelder, Mural, Shuckle, Wingull, Tepig, Helioptile, the different Orikoros. After those, there's the Bone Sweets, Sandygast, and Lechonk. And maybe a Executor. And if you're wondering, hey, where's the Pokemon that is new to this event? Oh, it's raid locked. In the 3-star raid, so Slakath wearing a visor, and Tetsugiri's in the 1-star, and then a Raichu, a Marowak, and Dondozo in the 3-star. Field research, complete field research to earn encounters with event-themed Pokemon, a couple paid research, and then a free time research for 10,000 XP, 7,000 dust, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon. So let's look at this Pokemon. So I'm actually starting, so it's not in the rankings, but you can just put it into PV Poke. In the multi or matrix and understand what it is. So it is a just pure water type Pokemon, and that is why I have Blastoise up here, just to show you what water Pokemon are weak and resist. Weak to electric and grass, resist fire, ice, steel, water. Now, water has been super dominant since season 1 of GBL, and a lot of it is because of the stats. A lot of these water Pokemon seem to have like really good stat products or stat distributions, whatever you want to call it. And the ones that don't have good stats seem to get Hydro Cannon, right? So it's all like the starters that may not have amazing stats that get like Hydro Cannon or Mud Shot before it got nerfed. So water was already pretty good. At the same time, electric and grass were bad in GBL because the strengths of the main series game don't translate to GBL. So those two were already bad. Now, grass has unfortunately become irrelevant, and it's only going to become more relevant next season. So this season we had bug, poison, steel, and some fire buffed. All that beat grass. And next season we are going to have a bunch of dragons buffed, which resist grass. So for something that was already so bad, it's just become worse next season. So you don't really need to worry about grass too much. Now there are, for electric, there for sure is more Pekos and Dedenes. There is going to be a lot more dragons next season, and dragon also resists electric. So maybe you see a bit less electric, but Dedenne is half fairy, so that's going to deal with a lot of the dragons next season. So it's one of those, water in itself is a really good typing. It's probably going to have a lot of play, and we'll have to see how it plays out next season, but always has play. And then resist fire, ice, steel, and water. So this Pokemon stats are pretty nice. 104 attack, 109 defense, and 187 stamina for 2146 overall. Again, for those of you who are new to this channel, you want that low attack, higher defense and stamina, and higher overall, because that allows your level to go higher, because the calculation to get your CP here, this 1499 CP, is the attack. I said it was times 0.5, but I think it's the exponent of 0.5, was the defense and stamina to the exponent of 1. So the higher your attack means that your that accounts for your CP more, which means that if you have a super high attack like 140, you're only going to get to like level like 20-ish or whatever. But this is actually only 18 and a half. I didn't maximize it though. What's maximized? 19. So still only 19 maximized, which is actually kind of interesting. But some of the other ones with really high attacks are going to be probably actually maybe even worse than that. So move sets, unfortunately with this thing, is what's killing it. So it only has 2 fast moves right now, and they're both water, waterfall and water gun, and they're both just bad water moves. Waterfall, 8 energy, 14 damage, 4.66 damage per turn, but unfortunately 2.66 energy per turn, which means it is very, very slow on the charge. And then Water Gun, not much better, 3 damage, 3 energy. So right off the bat, you're super, super, super slow charging with either move. Waterfall obviously doing a lot more damage, so you should use that. You have Surf, which is 45 for 90, 2 damage per energy, which is good. Unfortunately, you can't see the move set, but your other moves are also 2 other water Pokemon, Liquidation and Hydro Pump, and then Outrage. So I just put on, they actually recommended Liquidation, but you know, if you're going to run triple water and Surf is so much better than Liquidation, just get the coverage move for Outrage. But the problem with Outrage is not only is it non-stab, but whatever, it's still 60 for 110. It takes 8787 to get there, which 8787 may not mean a lot to most people, but you need to take the those counts and multiply it by the duration of the fast move. And Waterfall is a 3-turn fast move, so you would take 24 turns to get to your first Outrage. So when you're going against Pokemon like Drapion, that can get you Crunch in 10, and other Pokemon like more Pekos that are getting 2 in 10, and just too many things are going to outspam you for this to be relevant. So you can throw it in the Sims here, 17 and 31, 446 average. Unfortunately, just not going to cut it. You're just beating a lot of like the fires and the grounds and the stuff that you should be beating anyways. A couple other waters as well you're beating, but otherwise you're losing to pretty much everything else. So like the typing, like the stats, like Surf, do not like the fast move, and do not like your second charge move. So this does seem like one that you should get and just sort of put it away for now to see if that fast move and second charge move changes. If not, just always have it in your, you should always have like almost one of every Pokemon in your storage just in case something comes up, because as you're seeing for next season, you're going to see rankings flip up like 200 to 300 spots up and down next season. So just keep that in mind when you are looking at Pokemon. There's again 2 other Pokemon you need to look for. I put this in for next season, so this is the next, like in this season Azumarill is ranked 55, next season it is ranked 21. Again, that should not be surprising when there are a million dragons being buffed. Fairy double resist dragon, so let's just open this up. Fairy, as you can see here, double resist dragon, 0.39 there, and then a bunch of other resistances like fire. There's some fire that got buffed next season. Water is always strong, so you resist the water. Some fighters out there, bug got buffed. You still have like Ferret with dark. Like there's a lot of resistances here. I mentioned how grass is down next season too, so Azumarill should be very strong. If you don't have one, Mural's out there. It's a good time to get some XLs. Is that it? Yeah, I think that was actually it for the Pokemon that are actually useful, unfortunately, for GBL. Cloyster, no. Shuckle. If you need the XLs for, I don't even know what the schedule is yet next season, but for Little Cup, Shuckle in Little Cups is like the #1 ranked Pokemon. So if you want to get a bunch of XLs for that, now is the time. Hopefully we get guaranteed XL trading back next season. But otherwise, a lot of these other Pokemon, unfortunately, are just bad. They're very bad GBL Pokemon. Nothing that will be anywhere in the top 150 out of the rest of these Pokemon, unfortunately. So, actually, that's not true. A Marowak maybe, or a Raichu is now getting a buff. Let me just check that. A Marowak or a Raichu. No, a Raichu even is still only 220. Marowak maybe. Okay, so a Marowak is ranked 70. Flame Wheel is getting buffed. That's why I thought off the top of my head maybe with Flame, because Flame Wheel is getting buffed next season. It's still a terrible move, which is unfortunate. So even with the buff, you're still just running Fire Spin, Bone Club, Shadow Bone, which in of itself is good. Again, a lot of dragons which will resist fire. A lot of water and ground, which hits super effective against you, so that always limits a Marowak immediately, which is why you still probably won't see a lot of them, even though it is ranked 70. But if you don't have one, rank 70, in raids if you want to check that out. Otherwise, that is it. Thanks for watching. I hope your max week is going well. I'm hoping to get out today. I did a couple remote, but that's all I've done so far. I'm so hoping to get out for at least a couple today. I'm obviously back in Ottawa, back in my basement with a microphone. So yeah, so tomorrow morning you have a shadow. I finally got my shadow annihilate. I shot it thinking it was going to go up today, and then at the end of the video I'm like, oh, I think there's an event coming up on Tuesday, let me check. It's like, oh no, the event is Monday. So I shot the video, the annihilate video, assuming it was going to go up Sunday, but it's going to go up Monday morning. So if I say some weird things about the weekend, that is why. Anyways, but that is it. Hope you're having a good weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.